Not a good way to start off the match with a double fault. I think Likhovtseva is going to feel a lot of pressure from the Davenport return. It's probably her biggest strength, Davenport.
Yeah, if you didn't feel pressure, you'd be the exception.
And we saw a few of those blistering forehand on the run by Lindsay Davenport yesterday in her match against the young Russian.
Beating Demencheva yesterday, 6-4, 6-love. You mentioned yesterday what a fine doubles player Likhovtseva has become with Ai Sugiyama of Japan. They're one of the top 8 teams in the world. That error brings up 2 break points straight away for the United States and Davenport.
I think Davenport's going to be a little bit more relaxed today. First days, you have the butterflies. You want to get a good lead. Today she knows that even if she doesn't clinch it for the U.S., she's got good backup in Venus and then Venus and Serena in the doubles.
Yeah, we'll talk about during this telecast whether or not this is the strongest ever Fed Cup team for the United States. There have been some great ones through the years. Billie Jean King played for many, many years. This competition started in 1963. United States going for number 16 today. And an early break of serve for Lindsay Davenport. And we know that her serve is improved, and we'll see that serve after this. Well, unlike Monica Seles in recent years, Lindsay Davenport hasn't always made herself available for Fed Cup action, but she thinks pretty highly of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, we want to win this, and whether it's 5-0, 3-2, 4-1, whatever, we want to win 5-0. We want to win, as bad as we can. So, we have our expectations is to win this, and that's what they are.
I think everyone had great expectations going into this weekend. So far, so good for the United States.
Well, I think the last time the U.S. had a team this strong was back in 1986, and Pam, you'll remember that. Well, look at the rankings.
Well, and in doubles, Martina and I, and that was when they only played 3 matches in the format. And Martina and I had been the #1 team for quite a few years. So we had 1 and 2 in singles and 1 in doubles. And Zina on the bench, who could fill in really well either singles or doubles. So I'm biased. I say that team was slightly stronger because you had 1, 2, and 1. Here you don't have
That's a pretty good record, but we have to know that Venus and Serena won 2 Grand Slam doubles titles this year. They won the French Open and they just won the U.S. Open, so pretty solid all around, both teams.
Very definitely. I wouldn't want to be playing against this team now. Oh! 30-15.
Terrific two-handed backhand from Likhovtseva. It's a stronger side. That's the side that makes less unforced errors from Likhovtseva.
She'd love to get the break back early. Hate to see Davenport jump out to a 2-love lead. has a chance now to get that break back. Well, she's not saying much right there. That's unusual. She usually chats away a little bit. Likhovtseva coming back, immediately breaking Davenport's serve after Davenport led 30-15. 1-all, first set. Pretty packed house at the Toby Family Tennis Center. I think I mispronounced the name of the Toby family yesterday. Gave a fair bit of money to build this stadium. Should get their name right. Bank of the West Classic, stop on the WTA Tour, is played here in end of July.
Well, Davenport starting to make a few unforced errors. She does have the big power game. She's going to go for more shots, and you're going to see more errors. But she wants to get off to a good lead here.
Ooh, just long, and that's Davenport. She loves to just smack that return right down the center and get her opponent falling backwards. 30 love. Nice little string of points for Likhovtseva after dropping her opening serve.
Pam, you mentioned how Davenport hasn't always made herself available for Fed Cup, and Monica Seles has, and I think last year in Spain was one of the times when we really needed her, and we felt after that loss that, gee, if Lindsay would have been here, we probably would have won, and I think she felt that afterwards.
Instead, Lindsay Davenport, there's Monica Seles, who has been the mainstay. She won both her singles matches last year in Spain and has made herself available both in Raleigh, North Carolina in April against Croatia, when that match was moved from Croatia to the U.S. due to the conflict overseas, and then also in Italy. And that's, Monica hurt herself.
And there's Serena Williams. Because Monica hurt herself, had blisters on her hand, she was the replacement and clinched the tie for us in Italy.
Ooh, very close. Always brave to serve and volley against Davenport. Just missing with the first volley. Still, game point. Ooh, you hate to give up a 40-15 lead on serve against Davenport. Back to deuce.
Terrific point by Likhovtseva. Likhovtseva is doing a great job at not getting pushed back by Davenport in her ground stroke. She takes the opportunity there to hit a nice little angle. Look how well she keeps her racket head above her wrist, and we talked about it earlier. She's a great doubles player, so she gets a lot of that practice when she plays doubles.
Third chance for 2-1. Well, that's an error that it looks like just a routine unforced error, but how hard is that Davenport backhand coming?
That Davenport backhand is coming very, very hard. I mean, Likhovtseva is doing a great job at staying low with her legs and not getting pushed back, which a lot of players tend to do. If you can somehow, when you play against someone who has huge power, take it and not get thrown by it and try to use it to your advantage to, create the power
And I suppose you have to do that a lot these days with the power game that's out there.
That's right.
Break point now for Davenport. That's all we've seen so far in the match. Showing off what makes Lindsay Davenport so good, those powerful ground strokes. Davenport up a break again. Can she hold serve?
United States knees.
Lindsay Davenport has broken again, 3 straight breaks of serves early going in what could be the clinching match in the Fed Cup final. MLS Soccer, Columbus versus Chicago on ESPN2. Columbus is led by forward Stern John and goalkeeper Mark Doherty. The Columbus crew has already clinched a playoff spot, and the Chicago Fire are defending MLS world champions and are led by goalie Zach Thornton. That's Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on ESPN2. ESPN, part of the Go Network, go.com. Fed Cup draw, only 8 teams. There they are.
The U.S. got to the finals, beating Croatia in the quarterfinals, and went to Italy, faced a rowdy crowd over there, but came out on top. And Russia had a tough draw. They played Switzerland without Martina Hingis. That made it a little bit easier, but they still had to win tough matches.
One of the reasons, Mary Jo, as you know, for the change in the Fed Cup format next year, instead of 3 weeks of action, it'll be 2 weeks of action, is that the Fed Cup was starting to lose more and more top players. This will make it much more easy for the top players to commit.
Well, the tour has such a long season. The players really don't have any chance to relax, get away from it, and try to recover from all the stress involved in competing. And I think it's really going to help the top players to commit to play those 2 weeks.
Ooh, the off backhand from Davenport. There you can see in April there'll be 3 sites around the world where 4 nations will gather and play, and whoever wins those 3 sites will go into the November final, where hopefully the United States, with one more win here this weekend, will host that 4-nation final. Here are the 3 groups that will fight for a spot in the 2000 final. Which group do you think is strongest, Mary Jo?
Looks like Group A to me. Look at Spain and Germany. Even though Steffi Graf retired, they still have Anka Huber.
Croatia, this Talaya is becoming a stronger player, and if Maoli gets her game back.
And Spain really has been the team of this decade.
What'll be interesting is some of the players like Kornikova, Hingis, Schneider, some of the players that haven't always gotten along with their federation, whether or not they step up and play. Talk about Billie Jean King. She had times where she didn't exactly get along with the USTA through the years. Now she's on the team. Of course, in the days before open tennis, the federations kind of ruled everything and raised all sorts of havoc with the players. A little different these days. One of the greats of sports, Billie Jean King. Deuce. Davenport trying to hold on to serve for the first time.
Likhovtseva really moving the ball around the court extremely well. She's got Davenport going from side to side. Here takes advantage of the ball out of the air for a running, swinging forehand volley. Not your textbook shot, but a shot that a lot of the younger players are coming up with right now.
Break point again.
Well, Davenport comes back to save that break point with her bread and butter serve. Pam, I think this is one of the reasons Lindsay Davenport won Wimbledon this year, because she improved her first and second serve. But the first serve, as we saw in that last point, is critical to her. She serves it up the tee, and it goes away from her opponent.
Well, there's another good first serve after 2 break points. I want to see the court so I can see the spin. Yeah.
She tried to go for it again.
That was the serve that actually Davenport hit that one up the middle on match point at Wimbledon. Groff missed the return, and Joy.
Wow. Great anticipation from Likhovtseva.
Well, that's the whole key. You've got to be able to read. And right now, Likhovtseva is heading this way. She knows that she's got to cover that open court. She gambles, and it pays off. Well, Mary Jo, since you've been talking about that serve, that's all Lindsay's really gone to, and it really is such an impressive serve. And when you're 6'2", the angle is so much easier to go out wide on the deuce side. You can see there Likhovtseva was actually leaning that way.
You have to. Even when you know where it's going, it's still hard to reach it.
And a hold of serve. Lindsay Davenport accomplishes that for the United States. Here you see the score line. What a struggle, though, for the servers so far. You expect anyone playing Davenport to have some trouble holding serve. I'm sure Lindsay wouldn't have been too impressed if she'd dropped 2 in a row. See her Fed Cup career record, a winning record. Remember, she plays number 1 a lot of the times when Kornikova is not played. Kornikova had a stress fracture over the summer. Happened sometime around the tournament that was held here. Couldn't play the U.S. Open. Wanted to play this weekend, but the Russian Federation said, no thank you, Anna. We got here to the finals without you the last couple of years playing, so we will play whatever happens with a team that's gotten us here.
Davenport going for her big return up the line, off the backhand side. And that's just too powerful. I mean, what do you do about that? That was the first serve to try to spin it away from Lindsay Davenport's body, but with her reach and her power, it's just too tough.
15-30, in trouble again on serve. Now, do you gamble on the second serve? This is always the decision you have to make against great returners. Do you step it up, make a few more double faults?
Well, I think you have to. I think you have no choice. I mean, I'd rather hit a double fault than have my opponent be hitting winners on me all day and getting confident.
Psychologically, you're exactly right. It's better that you are going for your shots than have the opponent just have free reign and just rip winners. That builds their confidence much more than you just hitting the occasional gamble double fault. Still break point. Lindsay Davenport in the United States now 8 games away from winning the Fed Cup. Davenport up 4-1 on Likhovtseva. Well, Billie Jean King, one of the greats of all time, she knows what it's all about to have the heart of a champion. She thinks a great deal of her #1 player. Here's Billie Jean on Lindsay.
I'm just thrilled that she's been #1 in the world and that she's won 2 Grand Slam titles now, the U.S. Open and Wimbledon. I'm thrilled with her, but people do not understand what makes her great. To me, it's obvious. Great hands, great court sense, the purest hitter of the ball, and understands the game as well as anybody.
Purest hitter of the ball. I think of all those things that Billie Jean King mentioned, that's what really stands out in her mind. It's just, especially from court level.
Nice return up the line from Likhovtseva. Davenport does hit the ball very cleanly. And it's amazing how much power she generates though off those ground strokes. I used to play doubles with her, and it always shocked me at how the people at the net on the other side couldn't handle her pace.
Couple those great hands, good court sense with improved conditioning, a better serve. That's why she's been #1 in the world on and off with Hingis the last 12 months. Love 30 here, though. I actually played Lindsay Davenport in one of my last U.S. Opens, and I tried to serve and volley against her as I tried to serve and volley against everybody, and it just went by me so quickly. And this was before, I mean, she was about, I'd say, somewhere between 10 and 15 in the world, way before she got to be really good.
I think Likhovtseva thought that forehand by Lindsay was going out, but it landed inside the line.
The Russian coach, Konstantin, didn't get out of his seat, didn't say a whole lot. He didn't have the best angle to see that line. 30-all. Oh!
Blistering return. Doesn't get any better than that from Likhovtseva.
What's the key to those returns? The take back?
I think a short take back, just very compact. Block that power from the Davenport serve.
That looked like Agassi. Oh, nice way to fight off a break point, a forehand winner. Crowd appreciating that. A little more rowdy today. Some of the U.S. players and Billie Jean King felt the crowd could have just showed a little more patriotism yesterday, enthusiasm.
Whenever the U.S. goes abroad to play other countries, the crowd does get much more involved. They have banners, they have noisemakers, they're just very, very vocal, and the U.S. is always more subdued.
Well, we've seen on the men's side sometimes the hitting partners like Justin Gimelstob get up and, you know, wave the crowd into action. Oh, perfect. I'm not sure we'll see Monica Seles or Serena Williams do that from the bench, from the U.S. bench. Got Zina Garrison over there as well, who Billie Jean King brought in as sort of her assistant coach for the semifinal time. That's worked out very well. Chance for 5-1. Likhovtseva could only watch. Back to deuce.
And Pam, that's just such a big advantage to be able to produce a big serve at deuce or at a break point to get you out of games.
Well, and that didn't just have that slice that runs away. That actually had a lot more power than the normal Davenport serve. And that had a bit of both. Lindsay Davenport has the United States up 5-1 in a match that could clinch the 1999 Fed Cup. We're at the Tovey Family Tennis Center at Stanford University in Palo Alto, California for the 99 Fed Cup final. Pam Shriver, Mary Jo Fernandez, packed house here. It's a beautiful stadium, but usually the courts run this way for varsity tennis at Stanford. They switch the court around because actually this is the proper alignment for a tennis court, but the land here was such that Stanford laid the courts out the other way. And one more thing, obviously Stanford University has really been just the leader in collegiate tennis on both the male and female side. Frank Brennan, Dick Gould, a couple of great coaches. Dick Gould coaching the men's side, Frank Brennan the women. Many, many NCAA titles. Ooh, that was close.
And there's just nothing you can do about that return.
Well, it's tough when you're serving too, Lindsay Davenport. Hard to keep the numbers up high. You can see the service percentage is not too bad, but look at that, 31% of your first serve points. That shows you Davenport likes the power over spin. Maybe she should hit more spinning first serves. Do you find that the case with Lindsay, that if you maybe spin them in more, give her a change up?
I think you have to vary it all the time, but I think the most effective serve against Davenport's right at her. I think Davenport produces great angles off both sides. And as with Venus, Serena, and Monica, they just like going out wide for shots. And if you can take that angle away from them and serve right at them, jam them, and it's a serve that's just very underused right now.
Likhovtseva trying to do something she hasn't done yet in the match, hold serve. The only game she's won in this first set was breaking Davenport in the second game of the first set. And now 2 chances to hold serve. Likhovtseva actually led 40-15 to take a 2-1 lead in this set, and it's, you know, it's games like that. When you play a top player, Mary Jo, you know you got to close out those games.
See there, Likhovtseva pulls her out wide on the second serve, and it just creates a great angle for Lindsay Davenport to swing away on.
So you're saying you're better off maybe hitting the left hip, the slider that jams Davenport maybe?
Exactly. Make Davenport create her angle. Make her get out of the way to hit her shots.
Likhovtseva stays in this first set against Davenport. That's what they're fighting for. The 1999 Fed Cup. I don't know if the flowers come with it, but Likhovtseva still in the first set, trailing 2-5. Lindsay Davenport will be serving for the first set to give the United States a 1-set advantage in what could be the clinching match of the Fed Cup final. It's senior PGA Tour action, the Kroger Senior Classic. Hugh Baiocchi will be on hand to defend his title. Joining him at the Golf Center at Kings Island will be Hale Irwin, Bruce Fleischer, Miller Barber, just to name a few. That's 2 Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on Friday. ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Sorry, did it senior golf? didn't think he was. 'Cause he's in Martha's Vineyard.
Well, that's Davenport's favorite shot, her two-handed backing across court. When you're playing against Davenport, it's also better to return up the middle or more towards her forehand, because if she has a chance to hit that two-handed across court, you're in trouble.
See, that's the serve to try and get from that angle as we are now, because we can show the spin and how it moves away.
Little luck never hurts.
It's much better. We can draw how it goes away, but we'll wait till we have enough time to do it. It's perfect, perfect. Likhovtseva making things a little bit difficult towards the end of this first set for Davenport. 15-30. Likhovtseva with that big return down the center. That's Davenport's favorite play. Now 2 break points.
Davenport's leading 5-2 because she's won the bigger points. She's converted more on her break points.
Trying to fight off a couple here. Pretty sloppy game from Lindsay Davenport. And the Russian captain pleased to see his player, Elena Likhovtseva, hang in this first set. It's important to establish that you're not going to go away when a top player jumps out to a 5-1 lead. Now 3-5, Likhovtseva serving once again to stay in this first set.
Likhotseva's been very much into this first set. Could easily be 5-3 for her. That big game where she served at 40-15 that she let those points slip away. You never know.
That was the third game of this set. Oh, wow!
And that's definitely the shot of the weekend. And this comes from her improved fitness. Look how well she moves to this running forehand.
Yeah, you get up and cheer. Oh, that's great. What a shot. Love 30, 2 points away from the first set. 4 years ago, Lindsay wouldn't even have started to run after that ball.
I was just about to say that. She wouldn't even attempted to move. And now she has so much confidence, she's moving so much better, that she's winning a lot of more points by forcing her opponent to hit an extra shot.
Well, from one of the great forehands we've seen to, well, not such a good one. 15-30. See what Likhotseva's doing here. She's sort of bouncing the ball. She's taking a little extra time. That's another vital thing to do in a big match against a top player. Play at your own tempo. But that second serve, Mary Jo, was the jammer into the body, and Likhovtseva was in the play. She made the error to give Davenport now 2 set points.
And that time she went for the ace. And I think that's a good play. I think she should keep going for it. She has nothing to lose. She's not going to win by just getting that second serve in.
First ace, second set point coming up.
Let's see if she goes for her second serve again.
And got back to neutral during the rally. See, that's the tough part, is when you hit that second serve, Lindsay's got you on the defensive, but Likhovtseva was able to get back on top with that great forehand in the corner.
The most important shot to hit is that first shot off the return. If she can get back into the point right away, then she's got a good opportunity to win the point.
3 times in a row testing herself with a second serve. Swung it out wide with an ace the last time on this court. Decision time here. That was the one into the body. You like that one?
That's my favorite one. That forces Davenport to come up with a great shot on her own.
And the righty spin, it's just awkward. It's awkward for Davenport to get power. Now game point. Well, you have to admire the Russian because she has come from 5-1 down, fought off a couple of set points, and now Lindsay Davenport for the second time will serve for this first set. 5-4 up. Davenport will be serving for the first set again. We've been talking a lot about her serve. Now let's roll this. This is her favorite serve up the tee. Let's roll it. Now watch Likhovtseva if she's going to scoot over. Now freeze it here if you would. Now, a lot of people, they go straight down here and it goes like that. Now watch Davenport. Roll it along. And now see what happens with the slice. And let's freeze it again. It's gone this way. Now that is just an incredible advantage for someone 6'2" to be able to get that slice and have it run away. And that was the other one. But the fact that she has the great wide one on the deuce side and the terrific one up the tee, you've got to be leaning that way, so that makes those other ones so much better.
Oh, it's just too good from Likhovtseva. Likhovtseva really fighting hard, staying in every point with Davenport. Let's remind you that yesterday Davenport was up 5-2 in the first set against Demencheva before she won at 6-4. And that's her favorite side, Likhovtseva. She loves the backhand down the line.
Mary Jo, what percent of the players out there with two-handed shots have their best side on the two hands?
I'd say 80% of them. I think a lot of the players can generate a lot more power. They have such good shoulder turns. It really helps them create the angle on the cross-court shot and also disguise their down the lines.
Or just in this event, you've got both the Williams sisters, their backhand side's more steady than the forehand. Davenport, Likhovtseva. And now Davenport has 2 set points on her own serve. She had a couple to break Likhovtseva's serve in the last game, was unable to convert. There's the USA bench and Coach Billie Jean King applauding Davenport's effort. It got a little complicated there towards the end of the first set, but Davenport closes it out. 6-4, as you mentioned, Mary Jo, similar pattern in yesterday's match with Demencheva. Up 5-2, closed it out finally at 5-4. This time went one game further, from 5-1 to 5-4. We mentioned yesterday, Billie Jean King always just looks at her player. She doesn't look at both sides of the court. She doesn't follow the ball back and forth across the net. She just focuses on her player.
A little shriek from Davenport. She had made a good defensive play, letting go and hitting a one-handed slice.
Used to see a lot more negative body language from Lindsay Davenport. That's another aspect that's really picked up. Her self-esteem, she carries herself. She's not as intimidated or uncomfortable with her height. That's something that I can understand, being 6'1". Lindsay's a little taller than I am, and it definitely takes a while before you are comfortable with it.
I think she definitely has a lot more belief in herself, a lot more faith that she can beat the top players on a day-to-day basis and win the big titles.
15:30, of course, Robert Vandhoff, her coach of about 5 years now. He has done an outstanding job with Lindsay Davenport, seeing the potential, being patient, and then seeing it through to Wimbledon and US Open championships.
Great rally by both players. We saw Davenport scramble for a lot of shots. Likhovtseva was really in control throughout this point. She saw Davenport was stretched and far behind the baseline and hits the easy drop shot. Tried to disguise it, just cut it nicely.
30 all.
I think we've seen the best tennis of the match thus far in this first game of the second set. Both players just hitting terrific shots off both sides. Likhovtseva does a great job at stabbing that forehand on the run to pass Davenport. You see some reaction, positive reaction from Likhovtseva.
And Davenport stayed with that first volley that was quite a stretch to her right. Sometimes Davenport gives up on those passing shots. Billie Jean King's been trying to get her to stay in that net position. Know that you have a big reach. Don't give up on the passes too early. And it makes for great rallies. Elena Likhovtseva, after losing 5 of the first 6 games of the match, has really closed things up nicely here, winning 4 of the last 5 games herself. But Billie Jean King, she is the inspirational leader of this 1999 Fed Cup team that is the dream team, and Lindsay Davenport is trying to clinch the Fed Cup for the USA. final is being played at one of the United States' greatest educational institutions, Stanford University. That's the Hoover Tower, not too far away from the Toby Family Tennis Center. You're watching Russia against the United States. Yesterday, 2 wins for the United States, thanks to Venus Williams and Lindsay Davenport, Pam Shriver, Mary Jo Fernandez. Happy to bring this action to you. In the last few games, the action has been outstanding. Both players picked up their games. Good baseline stuff, good net action.
Well, the quality of play has definitely risen in the last 3 or 4 games.
Why do you think that is? Just sort of settling in, the nerves go totally disappear after the first few games? What happens?
I think it's a combination of that and also that both players hit the ball very flat, and it's easy to get into a good rhythm and good timing, and I think both players are striking the ball very well.
Well, we showed you the service action of Davenport from the other court, but you can see there with that ace how it moves away. 70%. A lot of winners as usual from Davenport. 3 game points.
Likhovtseva doing a good job of attacking Davenport's second serve there. Another part, sorry Pam, of Davenport's game that's improved a lot is her kick serve. A lot of players aren't able to attack that move up into the court to take it on the rise.
I really feel like Likhovtseva's come out with the game plan, and you can thank her coach for that. I mean, it's very easy down love 2, and you come out against the number 2 player in the world, somebody who loves California hard course, to just sort of mail it in, but she's not. She's really picked it up. Like that. That's exactly, Mary Jo, what you're talking about.
Again, she takes that ball on the rise, steps in. She's putting the pressure on Davenport when she misses her first serve.
Well, Davenport led 40 love in this game. Now it's 40-30. Look, you're saying look for that serve. When you play Davenport, anyone out there, in case you happen to face Lindsay Davenport in the next few months, take her favorite serve away, especially on big points. Likhovtseva giving the big gap there, enabling Davenport to hit the ace and leveling this second set at 1 game apiece. Different start from the first set. We had 2 breaks.
And I think especially on big points, that's the serve you should take away because it is her favorite serve and the easiest one for her to hit. I played Davenport in doubles here in Stanford a few weeks ago when the tournament was out here, and Lindsay knows that I know her game pretty well and I know her patterns, and sure enough, every big point she served out to my backhand on that side. Well, I was expecting the one up the tee, so.
Big ground strokers, oftentimes it comes down to winners and errors. You can see Likhovtseva is actually a pretty clean match, only 6 unforced errors. A lot of forced errors because that's what Davenport does with you. They're even on winners.
By looking at those numbers, you would think Likhovtseva was winning this match.
And the reason she's not, Mary Jo, what, is just when the points are won?
Exactly. Davenport has won the bigger points, especially the break points, and her unforced errors came towards the end of that first set when she was up 5-1.
Game point for 3 straight holds starting out this second set. And an ace, and following it up in case the ball came back. Likhovtseva up 2-1 in the second set. the Fed Cup. It is the Women's World Team Tennis Championship, and it's Russia versus the United States.
Time.
There you see both players with their coaches on the change of ends. Likhovtseva up 2-1 with serve, second set. Davenport first set 6-4 after being up 5-1.
Good 1-2 play from Davenport.
Here's President Judy Levering of the USTA, husband Gordon. And that is the box for the ITF and the USTA. There's the Russian flag. You've got the head of the ITF, the new president, Francesco Ricciabiti of Italy. Mayor David Dinkins is in that part of the crowd. He's on the board of the USTA now. Well, at 15:30, little chance here for Likhovtseva. Put a little pressure on Davenport if the score was 3-1 in serving. Must be hard to change directions off the Davenport power backhand cross court to take it up the line.
It's very difficult. I mean, I think that was a very risky shot. Likhovtseva tried to convert on a big point. But again, you have to take your chances against someone like Davenport.
Took a chance there with a big return up the middle. So from 15-30 down, it's now 40-30 game point to level things at 2-all. Oh, just missed. 2-all, second set. Well, unlike yesterday when Davenport ran away with the second set against Demencheva, Likhovtseva's done a good job to stick with Davenport early and in that last game put a bit of pressure on her serve. But you get the feeling Davenport's just kind of like getting geared up to play a big return game.
You feel it's just a matter of time before she's going to connect on a few returns and put the pressure on Likhovtseva.
Not there, though.
Likhovtseva's had a very solid year. She's ranked 17 in the world, had a good U.S. Open reaching the 4th round before losing to Austria's Barbara Schett. Great feel from Davenport there. You could hear Billie Jean King saying yes after she made that backhand volley.
And hopefully that yes won't get her a warning like yesterday. A few of the words Billie Jean had to encourage her players got her 2 warnings. A little ridiculous. Likhovtseva beat Monica Seles at Hilton Head this past year. 7-6, 6-2 before losing in the quarterfinals to Patty Schnieder 7-6 in the third. Third double fault, but again, that's a number that we happen to think isn't a bad number against Lindsay Davenport. You've got to take the risks, as we've been saying, otherwise return winners will come flying all over the place.
And that number is actually very low, considering Likhovtseva is actually going for a lot of second serves.
Well, she's got another opportunity here. I must say she has a pretty flat first serve, and I like to see her get a little more lift on that first serve. A lot of them hit the tape.
You couldn't have said that any sooner.
Well, in trying to go for it, you really have to make sure you still accelerate up and through the ball.
That's unbelievable, Pam.
3 in a row. Let's see, what will we do if we get 3? Second, this is unusual to see second serve lets 2 and 3 in a row. And from 15-love up, 3 straight points for Davenport, and she has her break opportunity, 2 of them right here.
Now see, saved.
Yeah, that serve, though, Mary Jo, really looked different to me. It really looked like she went up and after, and it cleared the net by a lot more.
I think Likhovtseva tends to let the ball toss drop a little bit, and that's when she gets in trouble, and she does hit the tape on numerous occasions.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the key things, as you know, as a player, is to be able to correct something that's faltering. And Likhovtseva's done that in the last 4 points. We saw a couple of terrible serves, and then the last 2 have been great. Let's see what happens here. It would have been a good serve on the other side, the ad side. Lindsay said something, it sounded like, how short does it have to be? I'm not sure whether she was talking about the second serve or a shot in there, or she's clearly unhappy with blowing those break point opportunities. Now game point for the Russian. Great effort from Likhovtseva, the jamming serve into the body, a serve that Mary Jo Fernandez wants Likhovtseva to do if she wants to stay in this match, which she's doing. Likhovtseva leads 3-2, second set. set to the United States, trailing though 3-2 in the second set. A big win about a week ago for Serena Williams at the U.S. Open, and she got a pretty important phone call after that win.
We got all the matches on television.
Oh, that's great.
So
that's great.
we saw you win yesterday, and
So you follow tennis?
yep.
I never knew.
It's been an incredible tournament.
Oh, thanks. It was pretty
What
exciting.
a great victory for you today. We're so proud of you.
Thanks. I'm so happy.
Well, and that was the President of the United States, and now with us live down courtside. Serena, that must have been pretty cool, not only to win the U.S. Open trophy, but to hear from the President of the United States.
Yeah, that was definitely really awesome. That was so exciting. You know, the president wanted to call, and I know it was a big thing, but gee, I was really excited.
Now, Serena, you are courtside, so
Yeah.
we know you got to keep your voice low, and everyone at home understands that. But so far, so good for the United States, huh?
Yeah, so far so good. Lindsay is playing pretty well here, but I mean, Elena really has picked up her game this last set.
Serena, how have you enjoyed being part of this Fed Cup team? Has it been a good experience for you?
You know, it's always great. And even in Ancona, I had a great time. It was a great experience.
Well, of course, you won the clinching match in Ancona. How exciting was that?
That was something really special. Something you always dream of when you're younger, and something that you always want to do. So that was a lot of fun.
So you're the U.S. Open champion one weekend, and now you're sitting on the bench watching Big Sister and watching Lindsay Davenport. But still, I mean, you can't complain.
No, not at all. I definitely even need a break. You know, I've been working so hard these past 2 weeks, and they need a lot of support, so I'm here to support.
You've certainly done a good job. Now, I'm assuming, is Venus still courtside, or has she gone back in the locker room?
No, she's in the locker room right now.
Well, that's where she should be. I know she was watching a bit of your semifinal match at the U.S. Open, and that's pretty sapping.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was pretty draining mentally and physically. You know, I had to watch her, so it was both pretty intense for us both, I think.
I think Lindsay Davenport's been having some trouble with some photographers moving courtside. That's what that little delay was about. We've been talking about that serve of Lindsay Davenport and how tough it is. The serve levels it at 3 games apiece. What about that serve, Serena?
She's really serving well. I mean, she's really improved her serve over the last year. I played her last year. Serve has really improved. It's really hard to break Lindsay now. And that's one aspect that was able to take her to the top and #1.
Now, at the U.S. Open, when you beat Lindsay Davenport, were you looking for certain serves? Were you looking for the one up the tee on the ad side and the one out wide on the deuce side?
Yeah, you know, you're definitely looking for that because those are some of her best serves. So I was definitely looking for those serves. But I had to be ready for whatever. And it was a good match between the both of us.
It certainly was. An exciting day of tennis Friday, about 10 days ago.
Hopefully Lindsay can go ahead and take this game, and then that'd be great for the USA team.
Well, we thought she was going to break the last game up 15-40 on Likhovtseva.
Serena, it's probably a lot easier to be out there playing than watching, right?
Yeah, it's really nerve-wracking over here. Because you really want the team to win so bad. There's nothing you can do about it.
Well, Serena, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to us in the middle of Fed Cup final action, and you go back to being the great cheerleader, and congratulations once again on just an outstanding U.S. Open. U.S. Open champion 99, Serena Williams. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Bye, guys.
Well, we thought Davenport would break on the last Likhovtseva service game. That was just a little bit of an opportunity again. 15-30.
Likhovtseva doing a good job when she gets down. Up 30, 15-30. Just play good points and see if she does it here again. She made the right play, Likhovtseva, by coming in and just missed the volley. She had Davenport stretched out.
2 more break opportunities for Davenport. Now it's getting towards the latter stages of this second set, getting close to that Fed Cup win.
United States.
There's Serena, the cheerleader now, as she sees her teammate Lindsay Davenport put the United States within 2 games of winning the 1999 Fed Cup.